What's going on, you ass-sucking punks? Welcome to the Crocs and Hot Pockets podcast. My name is Naaackers, and today is Sunday, March 24th, 2019, and this is episode number 90. Tonight on the show, it is a free-for-all, and we have SaltySam and MiddleAgedStream. Salty, how you doing today?
Doing well.
Jimbo, what's crack-a-lackin'?
What up, playa?
By the way, I decided Salty, you're always going to be first. Jimbo, you're always going to be second, and then we're going to have the guests go third, and then I'll go afterwards. So that way, just in case they're unfamiliar, they can see you guys introducing yourselves, and then they can go ahead and do the same. So we'll,
Got it.
We'll,
I go first. Got it.
No, wait, Jimmy, take it back. We're going to get to these guys in just a second. During the show, if you would like to ask a question to be answered during the Q&A near the end of the podcast, you can use the exclamation Q command in chat, followed by your question, and we will answer those at the end of the show. If we are not live and you'd like to ask a question or submit any kind of feedback at all, you can always shoot an email to podcast@naackers.com. And lastly, if you enjoyed the podcast and you would like to support the show without spending a dime, retweet our shit on Twitter or consider leaving a review for the podcast on iTunes. So what we're going to do real quick is go around the room, introduce you guys to the guests, and then we'll get right into the show. So SaltySam, who is always first, we will start with you.
Hi, my name is SaltySam on Twitch, the SaltySam on Twitter, because that fucking guy just won't go away, and Salty all day on Instagram.
My name is Jimmy, aka MiddleAgedStream. You can find me on Twitch and Instagram at MiddleAgedStream, MiddleAgedStream on Twitter.
My name is Naaackers. You can find me on this very channel or on Twitter and Instagram at Naaackers with 3 A's. What are we drinking tonight?
Same shit.
Same piss?
Same
Slumming
piss,
it.
different day.
Slumming it. Slumming it.
I even said to my wife when we left, because we went and had lunch today, and I had a Yingling at lunch. I was like, man, I should get a 6-pack on the way home. Then totally fucking forgot in the 5 minutes I was driving home.
And then it's gone forever.
Yep. So maybe next time.
I've got a glass of my favorite type of whiskey, the Green Spot single pot still Irish whiskey.
Ooh.
And I got a little beer chaser. I got just a classy Stella.
Ooh.
Classy Stella.
Why does the bottle look so different? Or do you have a koozie on it?
I have a koozie. Of course, I got koozies.
Koozies for days.
I gotta have the koozie.
I don't ever use koozies, and I don't really know why.
If you lived in Texas, you would.
Is it because the beers get warm fast?
Well, I mean, this is mainly just a chaser beer, so I want to keep it as cold as long as possible.
Okay.
So yeah, but in the summertime, though, I mean, if you're outdoors and you don't have a koozie, you better drink that beer within 10 minutes.
Okay, that's fair.
So
100 goddamn degrees outside.
yeah. Which, I mean, if you want to, you can drink a beer in 10 minutes, but if you're trying to pace yourself, I mean, that's a pretty rapid pace of drinking. So having a koozie helps keep it nice and frosty as long as possible.
Man, I'll never forget when you were in town and we were grilling outside and it was hot out. Beer goes down. So that was my first grilling outside experience, but it's just oh god, I'm so dehydrated and I'm feeding myself hops liquid in order to retain my hydration, and then before you know it, 4 or 5 are down and the grill rails,
those heat
grates,
lines, yeah,
they're starting to wave. And it's like, oh man, that burger's moving.
What'll help you out, and this is a pro tip that I didn't discover until I spent several years grilling outdoors. You got to have a good shady spot where you set up the grill.
Right.
You gotta set up either have a covered area, or if you got a good tree, you can put the grill under that. That helps quite a bit. At my house now, I got a covered back porch, so I have shade. But my old house, I put the grill, it was kind of out in the yard under this big ass oak tree we had, because I mean that makes it 10, 15 degrees cooler just being in some shade.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Or you can just be a cheap ass like me and go to Walmart and buy one of those 10 by 10 tents and just put it over top of it.
There you go. And then
That's what I did at my old house.
Never have to cover the grill either.
Yeah, it's great.
Nice. Well, it's been 2 weeks since I've seen and talked to you guys. So
Wait, what are you drinking?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Let's drink it. I am drinking that Flaming Lips Dragon Yum Yums. Yeah.
What?
Oh wait, yeah, you guys probably don't know about this. Okay, so Randy got these for me, and it is a collaboration between the Flaming Lips and Dogfish Head. So it says Flaming Lips right here. Pale ale brewed with dragon fruit and yumberry, passion fruit, pear, and black carrot juices.
Is yumberry an actual type of berry, or is that sounds like a cereal?
I think it's an actual type of berry. And then the same
Like
thing.
Captain Crunch now with yumberry.
I'd eat the shit out of that.
Yeah, me too.
Do you know what black carrot juices are?
No.
So it is the juice from pressed tulips. Yes. Tulips. So when tulips are squeezed, that's what comes out. At least that's what
Like
Alexa
the
told me.
flour?
Yeah.
Sounds like that'd be bitter, but hey.
No, it's actually, and for an IPA, it's super mild. It smells like it's going to be hoppy, but it's just a little fruity. That's how I like it. Just a little hoppy, because I'm not big on IPAs that much anymore. But this is actually a really, really good beer. It's way less fruity than the label says, or the label puts off. But it's actually probably one of the first IPAs that I've enjoyed in quite some time.
Cool. All right. Well, didn't mean to interrupt, but I was curious what you were drinking.
I get ahead of myself sometimes. I'm sorry.
Oh.
All right, Salty, what's been up with you?
We finally have gotten at least a couple of days of decent weather in the last. I mean, this is the first time all fucking winter. And of course, now it's almost spring. But we've been getting some nice sunny days. Even if it's cold outside, it's still awesome just because it's been raining just about 1 out of every 3 days since I bought this house.
Oh, my God.
And that is not an over-exaggeration. Like, it has been raining almost non-fucking stop for the past year straight. It's unfucking believable.
Is it usually like that?
The last couple of years, it's gotten worse. Probably the last 2 or 3 years, it seems like this winter was like Seattle. Everybody's walking around with their head in their fucking hands, just whining, being depressed and shit because everybody's just stuffed inside. But I mean, I've been out. I've been outside, even if for no other reason, just to be sitting on the porch and just enjoying not freezing my ass off. So the weather's starting to break. That's awesome. I've been, most of you have known, if you follow me on Instagram, you definitely know, for the last 3 months, I've been waiting for my yard to dry out enough or freeze enough to be able to have my old shed moved.
Where did it get moved from?
It was the side yard of my house, to the left of my house. There's one flat cleared area next to my house, and it's this basically like a field. I'd say it's probably like a quarter of an acre, half an acre. That's totally clear, and it's where the drain field is for the septic system. And they plopped a shed right in the fucking middle of it. And it's annoyed me from the day we first laid eyes on this house.
You just dealt with
it. This is the only flat spot in the whole fucking yard. This is where there could be a garden, or we could play yard pong or whatever. Even just playing with my son, running around in the yard with my son. It's hill, 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 and there's one flat spot with a big ass fucking shed right in the middle of it. So when I bought the shed, my big shed that I have now, I had it put all the way up along the wood line on the back of my house so that it was out of the fucking way, is somewhat level. And this one I had moved last week. I just said fuck it, and the guys just fuck my entire yard up doing it, and I don't even care.
It'll grow back.
I'm going to have to till up basically my entire front yard and side yard this year.
Oh,
because
really?
Of the ruts that I put in it, and the ruts that these guys put in it. It's just totally fucked. So I'm probably gonna have to till up the whole fucking yard one section at a time, reseed, put hay and straw and shit down.
Oh, you're gonna grow it yourself? You ain't gonna go with the sod?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, you
Fuck
are gonna
sod.
go with sod.
It would cost me
Oh, that's
10
true.
grand to sod the amount of space I have to do.
No thanks.
It'd be like a dump truck load of sod. So we can reseed. It's still going to cost me probably $500 or $600 because grass seed is not cheap.
Really?
A
Now,
lot cheaper than sod.
a lot cheaper than sod, but it's still like a 40-pound bag of the shit they advertise on TV, like Scott's. That's $50.
Jesus.
Even if you get it on sale, it's like $44 a bag, and it's gonna take me probably 20 bags of seed. I'm not doing that with Scott's. I'm gonna go to the fucking farm supplier down the road that sells 50-pound bags for like $27.
There
and
you
we're just
go.
gonna see what the fuck happens.
Oh God.
So did that, got the shed moved, cut another fucking tree down, and then I've been working on the most ridiculous shed anybody's ever seen. So I bought a 12 by 20 from the Amish down the road and had it delivered a few months ago. And it's basically just been sitting empty for months because I just haven't had the time or the desire to do anything until the shed got the fuck out of the way. So I am putting a 100 amp service from my house over to this shed so I can put in a workshop in the shed. And this is my third go around at a workshop, and I know what I need to do now so that I don't say fuck it later and just never do it like I did in my last shop.
Oh yeah.
Like my last shop, I was just getting to the point where I was insulating, sheathing, wiring in more circuits and shit into the walls. I was just getting to that 6 years after building it.
Right before you sold it.
Right before I sold my fucking house and lost my shop.
You kept your fucking cabinets that you built, right?
Just the one. Yeah.
Oh!
That's the only one I cared about.
Okay.
The other ones can eat shit.
Okay.
They needed to get redone anyways. But the one that's like a legit cabinet with doors and drawers and stuff.
Yeah.
I kept. I was actually an exemption in the sales contract.
My
I put it in
motherfucking
writing.
cabinet.
You're not getting this fucking cabinet. I don't care.
Pause off, bro.
You can keep everything else. I'll take it if you don't want it. But yeah, and the guy who ended up buying that garage or buying that house for me is like a 26-year-old kid who likes working on cars and shit. So he's a cool dude, and he put a lift in already. So I'm basically got to be best friends with this guy.
There you go. Hey, got an alternator needs changed. Remember that garage I had hand built for you?
Yeah. So I'm about halfway done right now. I've got sub panel, all the wiring in inside, and then a guy from my work actually let me borrow a trencher.
Okay.
So he had, it's not like a big ass, like one of the ones you'd see like state highway guys using. It's a tiny trencher. It's about the size of like a front tine tiller.
Okay.
So it's, it's a little bit bigger than like a push mower would be. But I don't give a shit. It's going to save me and my back hundreds of hours of digging.
Seriously,
because
yeah.
my whole property is like nothing but gravel and dirt. My other house was nothing but clay, which was even worse.
Right. Fuck that.
And that took me, I dug it myself. It took me 2 days, 6 hours a day. And I stayed outside until I was almost ready to pass out because it was like 98 degrees outside.
I'm going to finish this.
Yeah. Well, because it went across my driveway. My driveway went around the backside of my house in front of the garage.
Okay.
So I had to dig that across my driveway. So I was like, I don't want to have to fucking leave this hole open for any longer than it has to be. So I dug both sides of the
That's what
driveway.
she said.
I dug both sides of the driveway one day, and then I dug the driveway out the second day.
Okay.
This one, that was 45 feet. This one's 105 feet.
Oh, God. Double the price.
So the trencher is going to get that done in probably like 2 hours.
Are you going to heat and cool it?
I'm debating. I have a window unit, but the problem is that the windows in the shed are fucking tiny. So it's either I have to reframe one of the windows, or I'd just cut a fucking hole out and stick it in the side.
That's probably what I would do.
Or what I think I'm going to do, which is just kind of make up a duct, like buy one of those portable air conditioners units that you just like run a little duct to the windowsill.
The splits. Because I've been looking into one of those for in here. I think they're called micro split units, where the compressor and everything is outside, and then there's just a bunch of tubing that runs to the fan on the inside.
Well, that's one thing. The thing I'm talking about is literally just like it looks like a dehumidifier. You just put it in the room, plug it in.
Okay.
But the problem with any of those options is that it's a wood shop, so it's going to get clogged up with fucking sawdust and shit like immediately. So, I mean, if it's insulated and I have a good exhaust fan in the gable of it, I think I'll be all right.
Okay.
That'll keep the sawdust moving the fuck out, and so it's almost done.
Okay.
I figure I've got a full day's work, which will probably be tomorrow, on moving everything from one side. The pictures I posted on Instagram, that's literally just the pile of lumber that was sitting in my other garage.
Damn.
All the shit I had hanging on the walls, sheets of plywood from cabinets I took apart, like shit loads. I've got at least a pickup truck bed filled to the absolute brim.
Wood.
With just scraps and shit. So I'm going to be using some of that and building storage in the roof and the actual gable of it, because it's fucking like 9.5 feet in the center.
Okay.
So I'm going to be able to store some of that wood up top, and then I'm going to be rehanging those wood racks that I had in my old shop.
Okay.
So that I can store all the other shit. But like this was the fucking ball that needed to get rolling.
Right.
In order for everything else to fall into place. So this will give me a place to work. It will get all my tools and workbenches and shit out of my garage. And then I'm like 2 trips to the dump away from having my fucking garage back after we moved in July. And it's been chock full of shit since July.
Right. Oh God. Yeah. It's crazy to think that it's already been that long too.
Yeah. We're working on our first year in the house.
Awesome.
So, and I got the only other thing I did, because I did play some Ark, but I don't even really know why. I didn't play on a server. Like I came in here and I was like watching streams, and I was like, well, I'll just fuck around on Ark while I'm watching streams. And then it was like 2:00 in the morning. I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Are you gonna jump on that Satisfactory train?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't really understand. I mean, it kind of makes sense, the multiplayer aspect to it. I'll do anything that's grindy in multiplayer for the most part. So, like, I've actually thought, I watched G for Greg in chat. I've watched him play, this is going to sound ridiculous. I watched him play Farming Simulator.
Yeah.
But he was playing it co-op with somebody else, and I was like, that's fucking cool as shit.
Fuck
I would
yeah.
totally fucking. I mean, I played all the simulator games back in the day. So I think it's something that I would like.
Did you ever play I'm sure you played plenty of the Maxis games like Sim Earth, Sim City.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever play Sim Ant?
I don't think so.
I knew of it, but never played it.
Fucking awesome, man. You're like you have like your own ant colony. It was badass. It was really, really cool. Just I
played all the Maxis titles.
SimCity 2000.
Except Sim Ant, obviously.
Except for Sim Ant. I didn't know that was a thing. Do you like build anthills?
Most of the Maxis titles, I guess you should say. We need to clarify here.
I played up to The Sims 4, and then I've played every SimCity since SimCity 2000.
Did you ever play Sim Copter?
Yep.
Okay.
Sim Train.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten any of the simulator. I don't think it's Maxis that makes it, though. The Euro Truck or the American Truck simulators.
No, that's a different company.
I simulated train every Friday night.
I always thought, because I watched G for Greg play that game too, Euro Trucker.
Yeah.
And I always thought that it would be fucking hilarious if somebody just went in full fucking redneck trucker cap, like the whole character and then just drank and drive.
And then like have like a CB radio and fake
Yeah.
conversations.
Like
oh yeah.
the way that what's his name? What the fuck is his name? Why did I just go blank? The guy who used to play Fortnite all the time.
Talking about CDN the third?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How he pulls out the phone and fucking do that with a CB radio,
Yeah.
have just backdrop, like green screen backdrop of the inside of a truck cab and just be getting hammered drunk and fucking driving with a wheel. And I always thought that would be fucking hilarious.
So Ark was your only game in for the past couple of weeks?
Yeah, for the last few months, I have just been watching other people game.
What's your mod load like in Ark right now? Like, how much memory does it cause? Because I know you run a lot of mods in Ark. So, like, what are you up to now?
Well, now that I'm not running servers, it's fucking great because it doesn't really do shit. But
yeah,
as far as like how many gigs of storage are taken up by Ark files alone, 129.
Oh my god, dude, that is insane!
And I'll give you one more. I only have mods downloaded that I use actively.
Oh my god, yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's not like I have like 10 years worth of mods.
I'm impressed.
That doesn't even include
the game.
It doesn't even include my like all the backups and server shit configs. And I have every server. I have every Ark server backed up for the last 3 years.
Oh wow. Okay, so you've got
like if we switched to a different map or did anything, I took a full map file and all the player files and backed them up. So I've got like, I don't know, 25 servers worth of shit.
Jesus. Hoarder in life and in virtual life.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have an external hard drive that's dedicated solely to Ark mod files.
My
There's going to be a TV show about people like you in like another 20 years. You know
that's
that,
fine.
right?
Digital hoarders is way
digital
cleaner.
hoarding.
Yep. Yeah, I've got these 50 hard drives.
Look at all these files Grandpa has on these.
Look at all these boxes full of old shit. Who even cares? So yeah, but that's it. I've been pedal to the fucking metal the last few days. I've been kind of losing myself back in physical work again, which is good.
Cool.
But went had a good lunch today. Stayed outside, shorts and t-shirt all day. 67 degrees and sunny.
Oh, fuck off.
Had the fucking windows open in the house. It's great. It's great.
Well, so what was it here? Show me the fucking weather.
I don't even know what it's like here. I did not really go outside today.
Okay, it was 57 degrees. I just didn't go outside.
You missed your shot.
The only time I felt any outside air is when I let Boba out to go to the bathroom at 10 a.m. this morning. I was like, oh, hey, it feels kind of warm. Let me go into my office where my windows are blacked out.
Sit here.
There was actually a couple nights ago, I was playing VR and I put the headset on and sunlight was there and it was prominent. And then I played probably about an hour of Blade and Sorcery and then I took it off and it was dark out. And I said, oh man, kind of fucked me up a little bit. I wasn't expecting it to be dark.
Well, that was the other night when I was playing Ark because I came up here at like 8:30 and sat down at the computer. And then I have a clock that sits right underneath this monitor where my webcam's at. That is this fucking tall. Like it's a geriatric clock.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always kept this big ass clock in my office because I lose track of time when I'm playing games.
Is it right next to like your big like Sunday through Saturday pill boxes that all the different shit you gotta? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have one of those. Just for vitamins.
I straight up fucking lost it. It was 2:00 in the morning when I got off of here.
Did it feel great?
Yeah. Everybody else hates Ark. I love Ark. It's just really boring and mundane, and I don't have to fucking like have other people to play with all the time.
Right.
I don't know. But yeah, it was great.
Okay. All right, Jimbo, what about you, man?
So 2 weeks ago was the last time we podcasted. I was telling you that my son caught the flu and then I caught the flu.
Inevitably.
So I was on spring break that week and I pretty much spent almost the entire spring break in bed, in and out of fever dreams, in and out of drinking ridiculous amounts of Gatorade, water, soup, and just feeling like shit all week. I guess the only good thing that came of it was I was able to get caught up on a lot of Netflix and stuff, like binge some shows. Like I watched all the rest. I made it through like I'd only watched the first season of Mr. Robot, and I made it through like the entire rest of the first season and the second and third season of Mr. Robot.
How good is it?
Awesome. Oh, dude. And of course I won't spoil anything, but I love that show. And Rami Malek is an incredible actor, and he really made me enjoy that show. The second season was a little slow because a lot of it's character development, you know?
Yep.
And I was a little, kind of like, eh. And then I got into the third season, and it was just like awesome again. So for those of you that are going to watch, don't get put off by the fact that the second season's slower than the first. It's a lot of it pays off in the third season because they got to build up some characters. So
such a great
during that
show.
Week, you watched it too, Salty? Have you watched Mr. Robot? Oh, dude, I was late to the party, but it was on. I was trying to find new shows to watch, and so nothing was really screaming to me that I wanted to watch on Netflix. That was a show. Like a lot of the stuff I like to watch on Netflix is like documentaries and stuff, So I wanted to watch a series because I knew my ass was going to be in bed. So I was like, all right. So I had just started Mr. Robot, and man, that show's so good. But what else? So even though I was on spring break, you guys know I still coach, and I had soccer practice. I had to run a soccer practice sick as a dog. I had to coach a game sick as a dog. It sucks, man. And I was sick literally up until the day before I had to go back to work.
Oh my God.
Back.
So, but it's all good. I'm better now. And, I had all these things I had planned on doing over that spring break that didn't happen, obviously. So
Right.
I had a few, I guess I'm behind in some stuff that I wanted to do, but no big deal. We won out the rest of our games, and we won the district championship for soccer.
Damn.
So it's been the first time in like a decade, man, that the boys team has done that. So that's been exciting.
Give him a fucking raise.
That'd be nice, but yeah, probably not.
No.
And then, of course, my son, he turned 8 yesterday, so we had a birthday. He had a birthday party, and we had a bunch of 8-year-olds, 7 and 8-year-olds here in the house, causing havoc, eating sugar, having Nerf wars. It was a good time. So
Awesome.
but yeah, that's pretty much it for me between that and work. Gaming wise, I beat Alien Isolation. I beat it, I think, the day or two after you beat it. I beat it yesterday.
Yep.
And then I've been playing New Super Mario Brothers U. I got that for the Switch, which is a lot of fun.
For 20% off, didn't you, motherfucker?
I sure did.
God!
Yeah.
Fair.
And then I got I'm still playing the Red Dead Redemption 2. It's like on my 2-year playthrough of that game. I only play it like once a week, It's like I don't mind that. I really don't, because it's kind of a slower paced game anyway. It's kind of a simulation type game. So I'm okay with just playing it a little bit here and there because it is so good. I also been playing some Tetris 99, which is super addicting and super fun. I ended up buying that From Software game, the company that makes like the Dark Souls games and Bloodborne and all that. I bought Sekiro. Yeah, I bought that. I was really back and forth to trying to decide whether I was going to do it or not, and basically some people in my community just said, "Hey, go for it. What's the worst that could happen? You don't like it, you don't play it." I mean, I've done that a million times before with games. So I bought it. I played it last night for about 3 hours, and it was tough as nails, but holy shit, is it amazing and a lot of fun. It took me 30 minutes to beat like the first mini boss in the game. I think I fought him probably a dozen times practically to finally beat him. But I guess I'm starting to understand why people play these types of games, because you really feel good when you finally. They're hard as hell, but you do it over and over, and there's a huge amount of satisfaction. I think because of my recent foray into playing retro games again, which kind of is that sort of thing where you got to pick up on patterns and repetition, you know what I mean? And you die a lot. I think if I hadn't have been playing retro games, I maybe not would have been ready to make the jump into playing games like this. But
okay.
Now that I've been playing a lot of older NES and Super Nintendo stuff, I actually find myself enjoying it. So, and then old stuff I've been playing. I played a game as it was a beat 'em up on Super Nintendo called The King of Dragons, which is actually a really cool game. It's a lot like Golden Axe, which is fucking awesome
And also difficult.
And yes, and also somewhat difficult. And then Balloon Fight on the NES, which is a freaking old classic. But I've been playing that too. So really all over the place with the types of games I'm playing, man. But I'm having fun doing it.
Awesome.
I even downloaded. I don't play much on my phone, but I thought it would be a good game to download. What you call it? What is it called? I've only played a little bit of it. It's called. Oh, and everyone knows the name of it, but I hadn't really got it. Stardew Valley. I downloaded Stardew Valley on my phone.
Okay.
And playing a little bit of that, and that's actually a lot of fun. So
Good poop
but
game.
yeah. Oh, totally great poop game. It's the type of game that your legs are going to fall asleep while you're in the bathroom, and you're gonna be stumbling around the house for 15 minutes because you've put all this pressure on your legs and you're playing Stardew Valley and pooping.
And then
so,
have to go back to the bathroom because you realize you forgot to wipe because you were so balls deep in farming.
it's true. It's true.
So I want to tell you about the dream that I had last night, and then I want you to tell me if you recall. Do you recall any of your favorite dreams?
I had one, yeah.
Okay.
I had a dream about. I told you about it. It was right when that scandal hit about the college kids and the parents paying out the ass for them.
Oh yeah.
Lori Loughlin. I dreamed I was dating Lori Loughlin, but it was like the day after that thing broke. So I think that like she was in my brain.
Milfs.
I mean, Aunt Becky was in my brain a lot when I was younger. Too,
Mm-hmm.
saying. But yeah. That's the only one I remember.
Okay. So currently I have like a crippling phobia of the dentist because of multiple extremely drawn out and painful experiences for my last 2 times. And so I'm currently trying to get over that and get my ass to the dentist because I need to. And so it's like on the daily, it's just like a small like battle within myself. It's like, okay, am I going to book the appointment today? I don't know, wait till tomorrow. And so last night I had a dream that this is the worst part was when I was in the dream, I was convinced that I had finally made the jump and booked the appointment. Like when I was in that dream, I'm like, oh shit, this is real life. I finally did it. I booked the appointment, had a panic attack as soon as I got in the chair. They calmed me down, they drugged me up. And then as I'm drifting off, I see that it's 3 like 60-year-old creepy dudes that are the dentists. And as I'm drifting, I'm like, these guys are going to rape me. Sure enough, I woke up in the dream from being, and there's nothing like getting sedated in a dream, falling asleep while you're already sleeping. Woke up. It's exactly what happened from both ends. So now I'm extra terrified of going to the dentist because I have a purty mouth and I would like to keep it that way. But yeah, I was like, oh great, this makes me feel way better about it. So don't do crack, kids. It gives you fucked up dreams.
It's all about the dentist. You just got to keep going to different dentists.
Right.
Because I am another person that I had to take drugs before I go to the dentist, even if it's like a cleaning.
Right.
I'm on fucking Valium walking in that bitch. Because I get the same way. Because when I was a kid, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with my gums, but I was getting a cavity filled when I was like 12. And they shot me up with so much Novocaine, I probably should have died. And I could still feel every fucking thing.
Really?
Yeah, it was terrible. And it was too far along to stop, so I had to deal with it.
Right.
And ever since then, like there is a different type of shit that's not Novocaine. It's basically just like pure lidocaine that I have to pay. My insurance doesn't even cover. That I have to pay out the ass to get. because it's the only, like it'll numb your whole fucking head.
Jesus.
Your whole fucking face is numb for like the full day. Probably like 6-7 hours of just you can't feel shit on your face.
Oh my god, that's actually terrifying.
Nah, it's great. It's way better. But it wasn't until I went to a different dentist I was like, yeah, that's not fucking good.
No,
There's
thank
something
you.
fucking wrong here. We should probably try something different. And I was like, there's something different because I had no fucking idea.
Right.
And yeah. So most dentists will sit down with you and just have a consultation beforehand.
Okay.
I recommend that to most people with any doctor.
Right. Absolutely.
Don't trust the assholes on Yelp to make the decision of who's going to take care of your fucking body.
Yeah. And I'm just
or mind for that matter.
When I do go back, I'm just going back to the family dentist that I went to when I was a kid. And I'd never been able to go back there. One, because of my last insurance for my last job didn't cover it. And two, I'm 40 minutes away. Like, who wants to drive 40 minutes to the dentist? Fuck that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll go sometime in the next couple of years. We'll see. Anywho, Jimbo, anything else for you?
No, dude, that's it.
As far as non-gaming goes, again, haven't really done too much. I got together with some local friends, Jen and Joey. We went out and got some food, got me some lovely soft pretzels and fish tacos. So freaking good. This place serves soft pretzel sticks with this weird, like, honey, and it's not the same consistency as honey. It's like more of a liquefied honey, but some type of honey dip, and then a honey mustard. And oh my lord, I didn't think honey and pretzels went together, but they absolutely do, and it was fantastic. The fish tacos, always on point. I don't know what kind of fish it is. I'm afraid to ask, but it's also,
probably just cod or something.
yeah, something cheap and probably tainted is my guess. But got my taxes done for my personal. I
gotta do that.
Oh my goodness.
I got all my stuff ready. I just haven't filed it yet.
Just gotta
I
go
already
do it. My tax man is a fucking wizard. He's been in the business for 52 years. He's been doing taxes, and he helped me out a lot and taught me a lot. And so it ended up being not as bad as I thought it was going to. It actually was the exact opposite. But doing all of the paperwork leading up to the taxes was terrible. Like itemizing and categorizing every single purchase made for the stream, writing off all the expenses and do the deductions for everything. It was, I think it was like 17 hours of between 2 days of just getting all the paperwork ready so that he could look at it and just go, okay. Like 10 seconds. He fucking wizard, man. Yeah, I hate him. But he's super dope dude. He actually, he's huge into cars and hot rods and stuff. And there was a car show here in Detroit. He has a 76 original Dodge Dart, and it is fucking sexy. And he won first place out of like the entire fucking show. So he's a wizard and out of the office. I wanted to get some pictures, but when he brought me out to the garage to show me his car, I didn't have my phone on me. I was like, motherfucker. But it's a beautiful, beautiful, like cherry red. Everything not engine is original, and it is just super, super sexy. I'll have to get some pictures next time that I go. Been hanging with the family a little bit. Went and saw my dad yesterday. I picked up these steaks from the local grocery, and I've never gotten such great steaks from this place before, but 3 of the cuts were 2 inches thick. They were fucking awesome. And
fucking new guy on the meat saw.
Right, just I don't know why. There was a weird thing that happened. So in my stove here, my burners, their circumference is pretty small. But it heats up very fast. So usually my tell, which was taught to me by my friend Colin, is whenever I'm doing steaks, if you can hold your hand in the pan for longer than a second, then it's not hot enough. Like if you put your hand just like an inch above where the pan is and you can't hold it there anymore, it's ready for steaks. And the pan was heating up. Both pans were heating up for a solid 7 minutes and they weren't feeling as hot as they usually were. I'm like, this is so weird. The circumference on the flame at my parents' house was almost bleeding off the side of the edges of the cast iron. So it's a 10-inch cast iron pan and all the flames are going super, super wide. And I'm like, okay, well, the pans have been preheating for 10 minutes now. It's probably hot enough on the highest setting possible. And so I throw them on, and then I actually got a little bit of char on some of the edges on some of the cuts within 60 seconds. But the pan didn't feel hot enough. So I don't know if the circumference of the flame made that much of a difference. I don't know if it heated the pan more on the edges than in the center of what I was used to. And I was a little scared because the steaks that I usually cook with are only inch to a quarter thick. They're usually pretty thin. But these being super thick, I'm like, well, okay, I'll add like 2 minutes to cooking time. And the crust, I've never had a better crust on ribeye steaks before. It was just absolutely perfect. And I got video of what the steaks looked like, and I don't think I've ever cooked like a more perfect steak. I was so fucking proud of myself. And
yeah, I love that shit.
Oh god, and it was so fucking tasty. And now I just want another steak.
It's funny because like I remember when you first started cooking steaks and starting to figure out how to cook. Like you screw up a lot of steaks before you start figuring it out.
So many.
Yeah. But it's so nice when you finally understand how cooking temperatures work and seasoning and all that stuff. And it all comes together. And when you are able to put out a quality steak like that, you feel like a fucking god, don't you?
Absolutely.
Like you're just like the master chef, like fucking, what's his name? The guy with sprinkling the
Salt Bae.
Salt Bae?
Yeah. Yeah. So you feel like a badass. It's sweet.
And not only that, but I was cooking 2 pans. I was doing 2 separate pans at once. And I was flipping every minute, butter basting, crushing garlic, throwing thyme in there. I felt like a boss. It was a great moment. That was the other thing too, because of the wider flames, whenever I would flip, the flame would come up and go into the pan and get like a couple seconds of flame broiling. Oh! I'm like, I need this fucking stove. For the love of Christ, please give this thing to me.
Yeah, that thing looked like a fucking Viking stove or some shit.
6 burners, which it was like 4 and then 2 in the middle, but it was like 2 oval flame burners, which I had never seen before. Apparently that's a new thing that baby boomers are buying into these days. But yeah, it was awesome. So that felt great. A lot of napping. As far as gaming, I beat Alien Isolation as well. It only took me 20 hours. Do you know how long it took you, Jimmy?
I mean, it was about 20 hours, but that was spread out over the course of about 2 years. So, yeah.
Fair enough. That game was great. I gave it a 9 out of 10. The reason, I think I gave it a 9.5. The one reason that I docked points from it, and you guys know I'm all about docking in multiple ways. The fact that you could be crouched, standing still, holding down the aim button until the reticle closed all the way and shoot and it be inaccurate, that made me so mad. Just be standing 5 feet away from somebody, holding down right click for 3 seconds, waiting for that reticle to close, and then boop, and the bullet just whizzing by their head. Not only that,
Dude, I rarely ever used guns in that game. The only thing I ever used was the flamethrower toward the end. Like I was always too afraid to use a gun because I was afraid the alien was going to find me because it was good to bullet.
I really only used it when I knew the alien wasn't around. Like if you were in a place where you were in a different part of the space station. I didn't use it too often. Near the end, when it was getting to all the dudes were coming in with guns, like automatic weapons and shit, I started using it a little bit more. And there was people that were telling me like, well, it's not supposed to be a game that focuses on guns. Don't give me 3 fucking guns then. Like,
right.
What?
Yeah.
Although the bolt gun didn't come in till later in the game and stuff, and I understand that to a point, but if you're going to give me a gun and you're going to force me to stand still and I have to hold down right click for 3 seconds until that reticle closes and it's still inaccurate, suck my ass. Absolutely not. I do not stand for that. But anyways, that's the only reason I docked a half point from that game. So, but all in all, very solid game.
And it's really kept its draw over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Like watching you play it the last couple of weeks, it's just like this fucking game is how many fucking years old?
Right.
It's still beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 5 years. I think it came out in 2014, I want to say.
Wow.
Yeah.
14 or 2015.
That would make sense.
It would make sense because the first person I ever saw when I first met Naaackers and the rest of the people that were with GSN, it was when his brother was playing Alien Isolation on Twitch.
Yep. And he played it when it first came out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it probably was 2014 or late 2014, maybe.
It is a great game, but fuck, dude. It stressed me out more than any other game I've ever played.
I was clenching.
I've never been so freaked out playing a video game before, ever. Not even close. Like, I played through the new Resident Evil remakes. They're not even close to as scary as that game. Not even close.
Yeah, that game keeps you on edge the entire time.
Yep.
I've never played it. I've just watched like a million people play it. And it was one of those fucking games where between the music and all the sounds that shit's making inside the
Androids.
ship.
Well, and the Alien has the AI where it doesn't always do the same shit. Like, it adapts to how you play the game.
Yep.
So it's just fuck that game, man. It's a great game, but I wouldn't give it a 9.5. I give it like an 8 because it almost killed me.
Because I shit my pants.
Yeah,
Fair
I've
enough.
had to change the upholstery on my chair.
There, from a streaming aspect, there's a lot of new people that I met that are still watching people play that game. That's another thing. I wasn't expecting to see any new people streaming that game, but a lot of new people came through and so very respectful of like backseat gaming. And I'm starting to kind of like open up to backseat gaming when it comes to games that are super technical in nature. I'm starting to be a little bit more open to it, but still keeping the safe words where like I don't really want to know. I'm more okay with backseat gaming when it comes to game mechanics and settings than the story, or like, hey,
Yes.
you should go and do this quest because it'll do this and give you the best weapon in the game. I don't want the best weapon in the game. I just started yesterday.
Yeah.
But
No, but if someone's giving you a tip on, hey, if you do this type of combo, you're more likely to get you can survive longer. That sort of stuff. That's no big deal.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not backseat. That's just people helping.
Yep.
So
Like one super helpful tip was if you are trying to craft something, you load up that item with all of the parts, but don't craft it. And then it allows you to carry more of those items because they're technically not in your inventory anymore. They're in the craft part of the menu. So that was huge. That let me hoard all of the things. I was very much all about it. But yeah, super solid game. Liked it a lot. Same with Detroit Become Human. I just started.
that's a great game.
Just started playing that this week, and the amount of new people that were coming through, like, I love this game. I love watching this game. And I think that speaks to, the developers putting so many different endings and pathways in the missions that it's hard to see the same streamer play the same game, as somebody else. So that's actually been super, super awesome as well. The play style, like, I love the quick time event shit. I love when you're actually in not an interrogation or hostage situation where you have to choose, but the general like walking around and finding things and that movement mechanic and the camera angles, not my favorite way to play a video game. But I will suck it up in order to experience this game as a whole.
It's basically it's like the Telltale style, basically. It's just a better looking version of it.
Yep. And they do a really good job with it. There are some cinematics and some camera angles that look phenomenal. But the controls are still terrible. I have been making not necessarily forcing myself, but when I get the itch to play VR, I am going through with it. And so I've been playing a shit ton of VR these past couple weeks. I cannot stop being a murderous prick in Blade and Sorcery. It is way too fun to kill people in that game. You feel like a Sith Lord. You're grabbing people by the necks and chucking them down wells. You're shocking them. You're throwing daggers. The bow and arrow, it's all way too fun. It's almost scary, but very, very good game. I've also been playing like Pavlov VR. So Paul, one of my mods, was actually in town earlier this week, and he came in. We went out and got some food, and then I set him up with some VR, let him play some Blade and Sorcery and some Pavlov. He caught on super quick, and I think he was in there for probably like an hour and a half. And he did actually,
what a badass.
He did super, super well. He didn't say that he felt sick. He did say that he needed to readjust when he took off that headset, because first time playing for an hour plus with smooth locomotion games, that's impressive.
Dude, I played the babies game and I only lasted like 15 minutes and I was fucking cooked. Fuck.
But yeah, so it was cool to see that, and I've been like making a point. I did a small Blade and Sorcery stream, so I would like to do some more VR games. I just added a bunch of new games that I found on my wish list, so hoping to dive into that pretty soon.
Hey, does that Blade and Sorcery game, because I saw some of your clips of you playing it, which looked hilarious. Does it have is there a lot of story to that, or is it just mainly gameplay?
Yeah,
okay.
you load into an arena and it's flash mobs of NPCs.
Okay. It did look hilarious.
It's so fucking fun, dude. And the slow-mo, like jumping and like using people as body shields and like this sounds terrible, but just like grabbing them by their neck, throwing them down, stab, throw that person at somebody else, chucking daggers. It's way too much fun. Like it's definitely one of my favorite VR experiences so far. And the last game we've been playing was Super Mario Brothers U. Weenie and I played that last Friday for kind of like a co-op stream thing. And great game. It's ported very well, obviously, as Nintendo knows how. And so if there's anybody out there who's looking for a good Mario game, if they have a Switch and they haven't had any previous Nintendo consoles, check out new Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe. It was $60 when I picked it up. However, last week it was on sale for $20 off. I don't know if it's still on sale.
It is not.
It ain't.
It was only that one day.
One day?
Yeah.
Fucking Nintendo, man.
It was
Where
March
did they get off
13th or March 10th.
Oh, was it Mario? Was it for Mario Day?
For Mario Day, yeah.
Okay. That's fair, I guess.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, that is it for me. Alrighty. We're jumping on into the gaming news and discussion during the week. If you would like to submit any gaming, streaming news, if you would like to submit any gaming or streaming related news articles to the show for us to possibly discuss on the show, there is a hashtag news channel in the Naaackers Discord. And if the article's super dope, we will talk about it. So I want to give a shout out to Uni, Remax, Matt Weenie, Vans, Sonder, and Digital Flex for supplying articles to the show. And then, of course, PC Gamer, Rock, Paper, Shotgun, and Polygon for providing the articles, for writing them. So, first and foremost, just a couple things you guys should know about. Frankerface emotes, Frankerface as an entire plugin officially supports saving a backup of your settings and exporting them to a file. The culling is officially closing its doors again. Oddworld Sandstorm teaser trailer released, which I'm super fucking pumped about. Steam Game Library is getting a complete redesign. And No Man's Sky Online announced as a free update this summer.
yeah, buddy.
Any of those topics you guys want to touch on?
No Man's Sky Online is not just that's coming, but they're also bringing a couple other massive updates to the game and adding more stuff too.
Okay.
So, like, they have, I think, 3 major content updates that are happening in the next couple months.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's pretty big. How awesome is it that they're... God, that game. Well, I mean, we've talked this game to death, but I can't believe they're still putting so much support behind this game. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's one of the games I definitely want to revisit after Subselect is done. Because that's something that me, Weenie, Kelnohe, and 42 played, I think, for like 4 hours one night into the wee hours, and it was a really, really good time. I've just never gone back to it. No reason other than there was just other games that I wanted to play. So
Same here.
Definitely something I want to give another shot pretty soon. I am so freaking excited for another Oddworld game. The teaser trailer is corny and cheesy as all hell, but I'm super pumped. For those of you unaware, Oddworld Abe's Odyssey was the first game that I ever streamed on Twitch. The very first one. And god damn was it boring to watch, because I've seen clips from back then and it is terrible. But still, I mean, that game has a very, very special place in my heart. I love it to death. And so I'm super excited to see what this new game is going to be. I don't know if they are going down the Stranger's Wrath path with like a third person open world kind of thing, or if they're going to go back to the like 3D side scroller that they did with Oddworld New and Tasty. The teaser trailer didn't really tell too much about that. So I guess we'll just have to see, but I'm very, very excited for that.
I have never played an Oddworld game.
Bro, get Oddworld New and Tasty and give it a shot for me.
Yeah, and the Oddworld devs on Twitter said that this game is a direct sequel to New and Tasty.
Oh, fuck me! Okay.
It says it's a brand new game, a reimagining, but there will be familiar elements from Exodus, though.
Oh, see, and that's one I actually never played.
So New and Tasty's it's like a 3D platformer, or is it like 3D characters but 2D platforming?
Yep, it's just a remaster of the original Abe's Odyssey.
And that came out originally on what?
PS2 and PC.
I swear I thought it was on like Dreamcast or some shit.
It could have been. I actually never knew that it existed on PS2 because I had it on PC. And then when
I thought it was a PlayStation exclusive.
Oh, I wonder if it came out on PC way later.
Probably. Because I'm pretty sure it used to be just on PlayStation.
Okay. Alrighty, well, moving along to our very first topic of discussion, Google Stadia, the cloud streaming gaming service. So Google Stadia is exactly what it sounds like. It is a video game streaming service where all of the games, the infrastructure, the encoding, all of that stuff happens on the Google side on their servers. All you need is a Google-enabled device, such as a Chromecast, an Android phone, does Google have any dedicated gaming devices? Like I don't know if.
As far as like a console?
Yeah. Like they don't have like a set-top box like a Roku, right? They just have the Chromecasts.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I mean, I think they're making TVs now, but
okay. So that might be another route. Or just a Google Chrome browser. So they came out with their own remote controller that you can pair wirelessly with a phone, with a computer, with a TV, and you can play games that are hosted on Google servers. So super interesting. The one thing that stands out to me is, obviously as a professional gamer and streamer, was that the average latency from controller input to reply from the servers was 160 milliseconds per second. And that is pretty much equal to you playing on a server that's hosted in Australia. And
yeah, it's pretty shit.
It's not great. So for competitive shooters or first-person shooters that involve some type of PvP, it's probably not going to be the greatest. And with it being cross-platform, it's not like you can just only play other people who are also in 160, milliseconds of, So it really depends on how this is going to work in the real world. But they have the Google enabled TVs. Like I said, you have the phones, the tablets, the Chrome browser, and you can just bounce from device to device. All of your saves and your games are all hosted in the cloud, which, are you bothered by the fact that you don't own any of the video games that you have, Salty?
Not really. I mean,
I'm not
in the
either.
old days, yeah. I mean, I own the rights to them.
Right.
But the thing is, like, Steam can revoke those rights at any time
For
and take
whatever
your
reason
entire
they
fucking
see
library.
fit. Yeah, just like that. If they
Oh,
want
you're
it.
hacking. You're hacking in a fucking CS:GO match. We're gonna take your $2,000 library. You can shove it up your ass.
Right.
But I'm kind of interested in the fact that Google paired solely with AMD
Right.
for this project. Like they're the primary partnership. Their next gen GPUs are going to be used on the gaming servers.
Which I'm still interested to see. Me being somebody who absolutely loves my Ryzen PC as a streaming machine, I'm still not convinced that they are neck and neck with Intel when it comes to gaming machines. The amount of people that I see complain on Twitter that have Ryzen 2700 or 2800 and they're lagging trying to game and stream on the same machine, playing things like Fortnite, which aren't that hardware hungry.
Right.
So I've seen a lot of that, and that's something you just don't see people that are buying i7s and i9s for single PC setups. So it's a step in the right direction, but it's still not there. But as far as dedicating stream machines, it is a no-brainer.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, the way if you look at the actual presentation they give for this Stadia shit, it's basically just a dumbed down CPU and like 2.7 gigahertz server CPU, but then like their hardware requirements are so low because it's all scalable from their end.
Right.
So like, you could be playing fucking awesome games on a shitty laptop.
Yep.
It'll just look like garbage, but it can go as far as 8K.
Which is absolutely insane because I think a 4K Netflix video stream, I think the recommended bandwidth is like 25, like anywhere from 25 to 50 megabits per second. So
yeah.
8K, and if they're trying to do 4K at 60, like, because I don't think there's a lot of Netflix content that's 4K 60. It's probably all 4K 24.
Yeah, and
30.
It's not recorded content.
Right.
That can be manipulated in other ways to save in the data transfer.
Right.
This is live content that you're interacting with live. So I don't think anybody's ever, I mean, Google might be able to play it at 8K.
Right. If they're in the data center.
Yeah, because they own the fucking fiber network, so they can do whatever they want, and their shit's 1,000 up, 1,000 down all day long.
Right.
But my ass isn't going to be able to use this shit on my TV. I might be able to use it on my computer, but even then, my internet's going to pretty much block me from doing anything multiplayer.
Do you have data caps with your internet?
No.
Okay. Because that's another thing to think about is the data cap of streaming 8K. Like, obviously, that's way down the line. But even currently, if you're gaming and streaming at 1080 or 4K, that is a shit ton of bandwidth. And whose internet is that good all of the time to be able to support a stream like that?
Yeah, I understand why they're doing it. I just think they're aiming it at the wrong audience. They need to develop this technology, and then they need to go to an Epic Games or Steam and tell them, we've got the shit locked. All you got to do is license it from us,
right?
And you can use it, like they've done with a lot of their other technology. I don't see this really going. It'll probably be good for kids, and it'll be good for the console crowds, and it'll get them to break into some higher end gaming without spending $2,000 on a fucking PC. But I just don't see it as far as the enthusiast side, our side of things. I don't see them giving a flying fuck. It'll just be another new thing.
And there's no cost yet. And of course, 1080p is going to be one price point, and then 4K is going to be another price point. 8K is going to be another. I just I see this and I go, that's cool. Not really going to be for me. It's hard enough for me to purchase a Switch to play, and I'm not going to go out and invest in something where it's like, oh yeah, I want to play games in my Google Chrome browser, which is so great with resource management. And I'm going to leave my immediate response time dedicated gaming hardware for a cloud-based service. I'm sure there's like at some point down the road I could find a use for this, but one, I'm an iPhone guy, so how useful is this for me mobily? I'm not going to pick up a Google Chrome tablet just to play games on wirelessly or stream them. And also, am I going to use my cellular provider bandwidth if I want to play this on the go? My 14 gig limit before I'm charged. And I'm sure as hell not going to. I don't game on my phone. I don't game on my laptop. I didn't game on my laptop when I had it. Even like I would load up my laptop with emulators for a plane ride, and then I'll get on the plane and be like, well, I guess I'll just stare at the back of the seat. Because like the experience is so lackluster. But now that I have a Switch, most likely going to be playing some Switch games on the way to California for TwitchCon. But yeah, this isn't really a thing for me. I think it's a step in a interesting direction, but again, I just don't think that our infrastructure is there, especially with data caps and with instability of internet. Like, hey, if you've got a fucking like service level agreement with your ISP where you're going to have the best internet at all times, go for it. But I don't really, this doesn't interest me whatsoever.
The only thing that interests me is the fact that Google has the hardware to back it up.
Right. What better company?
They literally steal every piece of data that's out there on the internet 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they've got more servers than anybody else on the planet. So I think that's why I think it would be better marketed to other outlets. And they would just be the hardware side. And then the other people would basically just be a front, because they talked about having distributed physics between their servers. They're basically building mining rigs.
Right.
It's like 10 GPUs a piece. And then they were talking about playing the new Doom Eternal in 4K. And every player playing would have a dedicated GPU.
That's crazy to think about. How many fucking GPUs are in one place? And and how many like nodes are they going to have around the world? Because obviously not everybody's going to be streaming from one data center. I wouldn't think.
That's going to be fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like, that's what interests me. I'll be interested to see, because it would be a good way for developers because the amount of engines that they already support, it's like 10 different game engines that they already support. Anything on the Unity engine, Havoc, I know, what else did I see? Vulkan.
Yep.
So they've got Unreal Engine as well. So it's like there's a shitload of titles right there that you could have all in one place on any device.
Okay.
So, I mean, everybody thought the same thing with Netflix originally. Like, why the fuck do I need to watch a movie on my phone?
Right.
Now, like 90% of the shit I watch on a day-to-day basis is on my phone.
That's crazy.
If their side of the technology works and the internet technology in this country stops being complete shit and 10 years behind the curve, then maybe. Like, if we had the internet they have in Europe,
right,
it'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, and what about all the countries that don't have, if it's all predicated on your internet connection, it's going to be a lot of people who aren't going to be able to reap these benefits whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of people, just like you said, with data caps that are going to be fucked.
Yep.
Comcast is fucking everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be interesting.
Does this interest you at all, Jimbo?
I think this is kind of, in a way, it's not the exact same thing, but it's similar to like the announcement for what Xbox did and how they're linking up with the Nintendo Switch to where you can play your Xbox titles on the Switch. I mean, it's basically it's a way where they're just trying to break out into other markets. I think it's cool for games that don't require like a fast response time.
Mhm.
You know, like if you're really into playing RPGs or single player games that aren't like obviously it wouldn't work well for a game like a platformer or something where you really need precise control. But I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of games out there that you don't need that, and then to be able to play that anywhere would be kind of cool. But for me, I've got freaking sweet gaming PC at home. I've got all 3 consoles. I got a Switch. I got an Xbox. I got a PS4. So I don't see myself getting into this sort of deal, but I do think it will open up for stuff. I don't think that the infrastructure is there when it comes to internet speeds at most places. I feel like you would only really be able to take advantage of this if you've got a pretty fast internet connection, which maybe only 1 in 10 people in the United States have the internet you probably would need to be, you know, to really be able to take advantage of this sort of platform.
Right.
I mean, that's anecdotal, but I know people are impressed when they come by my house how fast my internet is, but I also pay for like the best I can buy.
Right.
And that's pretty much all we use. Like we don't have any standard cable or anything. We just, everything goes through the internet. So I'm paying for a premium, but even me, it's still not that expensive. It's like for a 300 down, 100 or not 100, 300 down, 20 up internet costs me $114 a month.
Sorry, what were those speeds again?
300 down, 20 up.
Wow.
That's fucking great. I pay
yeah.
probably close to that, and I don't get but like half of that.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I play.
I'm 100 down, 5 up. And I'm actually paying for 50 down, but because my house is the only one on the box, I get about 100.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pay
Down.
100 for 600 down in 40 up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not getting anywhere near those speeds unless I went commercial.
Right. I'm actually contemplating, and I've talked about this before, but now it's getting a little bit more serious now that my cancellation fee is coming down, of canceling what I have and getting AT&T fiber, because they've got 1,000 up and down for $80 a month. From what I've heard, it's pretty stable, so I'm thinking about jumping over to that.
Yeah.
Supposedly that AT&T fiber is coming to my area soon, and if it does, I'm switching too.
Hell yeah.
If I don't give a fuck who puts fiber in my neighborhood, I don't care. I've been putting in requests for fiber since that shit was invented.
Yeah.
Like, it's never going to happen. And it pisses me off to no end.
One day.
This is the house I want to live in for the rest of my life.
Right.
There's one glaring flaw in that
Internet.
fucking internet. It's trash. Pisses me off because I go to my dad's house and my dad uses the internet for absolutely nothing ever.
And he's got
He has
amazing
no
internet.
streaming devices, nothing.
Yeah.
My stepmom occasionally gets on her laptop or on her little iPad thing like once a week, and they have 1,000 up, 1,000 down.
And you can't get it where you live?
They live 30 miles away and closer to like a town.
Okay.
Whereas the closest town to me is fucking 30 minutes in any direction. Like my town is what most people would refer to as a drive-through, a flyover town.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So we're just passing. We're just hoping that eventually some motherfucker brings fiber down.
Hope a
the road
fiber
that goes
truck
past my neighborhood
gets broke down in your city. He's like, well, I might as well just lay down some fiber here.
The fucking ground.
Give us your fucking fiber right now.
It's going to be super cheap for me and super expensive for the company if they ever do it in my neighborhood, because I don't think they realize that I have a dedicated comms box that's at the top of my driveway right next to my house. So I'm only going to have to pay for about a 40-foot piece of wire to be stuck in the ground. They're going to have to pay for the 300-foot going back up to the fucking street from that box.
Oh, okay. I got the trencher, motherfucker. Just come on and lay down. I'm ready to go.
Come on, please.
Next up on the gaming news and discussion, Twitch Adpocalypse 2019. So this has been interesting. So this all stems back to the beginning of, I would say actually more so probably mid 2018, when it was revealed that the CEO of Twitch announced at a board meeting that they were going to try to double or triple their ad revenue in 2019 and outlined the ways that they were going to do it. Now, obviously, the general public didn't get outlines of how they were going to do it, but we are starting to see these ideas and these strategies come to fruition here on this platform. So earlier this week, somebody tweeted and tagged Dr. Lupo and Mr. Vance fan. Tim the Tap Man. You guys sound alike. So tagged Dr. Lupo and Tim the Tap Man said, "Sorry guys, can't watch your streams anymore. The amount of ads that I see are ridiculous." And so Lupo responds and says, so I don't ever run ads, especially during gameplay. The only time I ever run them is when I know that I'm getting up for a certain amount of time. And so a little conversation started to happen back and forth between a couple people on Twitter. And then Tim the Tatman chimes in and said, you know what? A couple people have been telling me the same thing about how they're seeing 3, 4, 5, 6 ads in a row that are spouting off in the middle of the stream, in the middle of gameplay, when both of my hands are on keyboard and mouse, and there's no possible way for me to run them. So upon some digging, Tim found out that there is a Twitch staff member that is choosing to run ads while he is streaming, while he is gaming. So in the control panel, it says who ran the ad on your channel, and they're happening throughout. And a couple other streamers have found this as well. So the reasoning for that was that it was a bug or an accident that this said staff member had access to this streamer's ad control panel and thought they were running ads for themselves and not for Tim.
Bullshit.
Accidente, por favor.
Yeah. Let's just see if they notice. Stupid motherfuckers won't notice it. Click, 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 click.
So that hasn't really exploded as much as I thought it was. I thought there was going to be a huge uproar once this is found out. It almost seems to be blown over at this point, which I find of all the things that
I hadn't heard of it at all.
Really?
So
okay.
it completely over my head.
Yep. So very, very interesting that Twitch staff, who, by the way, I also realize you can't ban Twitch staff in your chat. You just can't.
Nope.
Twitch staff that may or may not even be your partner concierge, like your rep, have access to your control panel, and also maybe accidentally have access to your control panel.
It's not an accident, dude.
Right. So
there's no way.
And
that's like a glaringly obvious thing.
Right.
When you go to somebody's channel and you have a fucking option to access any controls over that channel whatsoever. I mean, I know there's staff, but beyond being super users and being basically be able to kick ban, I don't see what the fucking point of that is at all. Like, that totally circumvents any type of judiciary review when it comes to being able to do shit to people.
Right.
Like, here's the way I see it.
Real quick.
I see that this is one of... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, just real quick. The kicker is that the ads that are being run do not directly support the broadcaster, and the broadcaster is not getting a cut of those forced run ads.
Nope. Sue them.
Go
There's
ahead,
gotta
Jimmy.
be some shit.
So it's one of two things. Either you have some rogue Twitch staff members who've decided that they want to interject themselves in a sort of weird way by running ads on these big time streamers' channels. That's option A, right? Or option B, you've got some suits that are higher up that kicked around the idea of, hey, we can still run, we got access to these guys at some of their peak times. We can run some ads and generate thousands of dollars of revenue off ads. We'll just get some of our staff members to go in, run a few, and then get out.
Give them a little something on the side too. Like, hey, you get 15% of every ad that you run.
It's one of those two things. It can't be, I don't see it being any other way, especially if they're not getting any sort of, streamers themselves aren't getting any benefit from this. So It's either
What?
option A, which are the rogue staff members, which is totally possible because streamers, the way they put themselves out there, I mean, they're even the bigger ones. I mean, they're like celebrities, right? You know, they're internet celebrities.
Yeah.
Or option B, this goes higher up, and this is a way for people to somehow get some other revenue or some sort of weird kickback by, hey, I'm friends with this guy. I want to run this ad on this channel. You know what I mean? It's got to be. It's either a conspiracy sort of deal, or you got rogue. And honestly, I don't know which one is more feasible. I mean, I feel like it's got to be one of those two things.
Were the notifications specific as to who the person was? Like, was there a username on there?
Yes. And said person has started to delete all their social media.
Oh, shit.
I wonder why.
Right.
Like, I hope they got shit canned. I hope it was a mistake. And it's just one guy who got a little bit too much air in his fucking head and started just being a douche.
See, but here's the thing: is it's happening on Doc's channel, Lupo's channel, Tim's channel. Like, there's all of these other people that are coming out and saying
different.
Yeah.
But are they different people running the ads, or is it the same guy?
Tim was the only person that verified said person. The other two never had anything named, anyone named.
Yeah, fuck that. I'd be putting them out there. I mean, I could halfway understand Twitch just running ads just to be shitty, but the fact that somebody is doing it and somebody has to be there doing it, they're obviously picking streams that have a shitload of people in them.
Oh yeah, I was. Weenie and I were watching Dr. Disrespect a couple months back, and this is before kind of the adpocalypse started. 6 ads in a row, 6 30-second ads in a row in the middle of. We're just sitting there watching, and then boom, middle of gameplay, 6 30-second ads back to back to back of the same fucking ad over and over and over again. I had never been so mad just watching Twitch.
I do not understand how fucking stupid they have to be to do this as a pre-roll ad on all these channels.
Right.
It's like Mr. Vansman said in chat. I haven't hit my year anniversary to where dude, but it's got to be coming up.
Right.
Like, I've got to be close to the end of whenever the fuck I renew my Prime. I will never watch Twitch again. At all. If I see 2 ads in a row,
Right.
fuck Twitch. They can eat dicks. Because that's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to pay. Like, I support Twitch by supporting streamers on Twitch.
Right.
That's as far as my reach is going to go. If it
And
costs me
they're
more
already
than a fucking
half
Netflix
the sub.
subscription. Yeah.
They're
And I'm
getting
paying
half the
them.
sub.
I'm paying them already from Amazon Prime every single year. And then I'm buying every fucking thing on Amazon because that's just what I do. And then turn around and I'm supporting people on the platform. And it's just, they're going to lose an entire generation of people that do not have the patience to deal with that shit.
Right.
Period. At least give people the option to skip or run it, 15 minutes into watching a channel. You're still going to miss out, but you won't just turn people away.
It's one of the reasons why.
Fuck that.
It's one of the reasons why I found that when I've been watching a lot more streams on my Apple TV on the Twitchy app because ads don't run on there. Like no ads run on when you watch through that app. So I found that obviously it just depends on what I'm doing, but I've found myself watching on the TV a lot more than I used to because I just I don't like dealing with ads. So, but again, I would say still, like, we talked about this before. This doesn't affect me a ton because 90% of the time I'm watching Twitch, I'm watching a relatively smaller streamer. Might be a partner streamer, but not like a big time partner streamer like, one of those guys we were talking about. And I'm usually subbed to them. So I don't have the ads. So usually. Yeah. Like, there are some that I'm not. Like, I think the biggest streamer that I watch regularly is Kit Boga.
Yeah.
And I don't watch him anywhere except my living room because I hate dealing with the fucking ads.
And that is going to change very soon. So something that Twitch announced, I think this was back in, I think it was officially announced back in like 2015, 2016, of the new advertisement thing that they're using, and it's called Slipstream, to where all of the ads are going to be baked into the video stream that you're watching and are not going to be overlays. So like on right now, or at least as far as 2 weeks ago, you could have an ad blocker on your web browser and that would take care of the ads. There's going to become a time where that's not going to do anything because there's no way for the ad blockers to detect the ads because they are baked into this video stream itself. And all of my ad blockers have stopped working on my PC. So I'm seeing ads everywhere and it's driving me absolutely insane. I would totally be okay with you forcing me to watch a 30 to 60 second ad an hour after I started watching a stream. If I'm there for even a fucking half hour to an hour, hit me with an ad. Just don't hit me with an ad when I first join a stream because it kills the experience in so many different ways that is. And I try not to get mad at Twitch as a platform because I don't want to be one of those people that like comes on here every podcast and we're just smashing the platform that we're all like making money off of, right? But there's certain things that it's like, okay, I can look past a lot of stupid shit, you know, just for the sake of, but like this kind of stuff, it's ruining the experience as a whole. And it's kind of getting me down because when I want to jump around and try and find new streamers, like if I'm going down my Discord live list of all the fellow communities who are live, I don't want to get hit with a 30-second ad every time I just want to pop in and see how somebody's doing.
Case in point. Sorry to interrupt.
Go for it.
You totally reminded me of something. So earlier this week, I was streaming and I was gonna, like I always do, raid someone's channel or whatever for not really anyone I knew was playing anything that I thought my viewers would want to go watch, you know? So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go look in this game category of what I'm playing. Let me see who else is playing. So then I go click to go pull up and it's just fucking ad. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, man. I'm just trying to see who this streamer is. Yep. I got to sit through this 30-second ad. This is stupid, man. Yep. It's making it super clunky. It kills the experience. They should do one of two things. They make the ad skippable to where if you skip the ad, it will automatically start the ad no matter what within like the next 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Or just fucking, dude, it's so dumb.
And you know it's because, especially when it comes to hosts and raids, it's like, oh, if Tim the Tap Man hosts somebody, that's 38,000 people that are going to be forced to watch another ad. Instead of just being like, you know what? Okay, no ads when people are raiding other channels, but like, oh man, that's easy. How many people are hosting?
Well, when I raid, the raid ads stopped. Like, I haven't had an ad I've seen when I've come over on a raid anymore. But me trying to find somebody is what I was saying.
Oh, okay, I got you. I mean,
just like browsing through.
Yeah. I was trying to find. I rarely do this because I follow plenty of people on Twitch that I'm happy to raid and send, but it just so happened that night, not many people were still streaming when I was, and the games they're playing, I was like, man, no one wants to watch this, I don't think. So I was like, I'm gonna go in the game that I'm playing, and I'll see if I can find somebody. You know, it's very rare that I just find a random person to raid, but I do it every now and then. You know, and I hadn't done it since Adpocalypse had begun. So when I clicked to go see this person that I'm not even following,
right?
It was like, fuck, I gotta watch a stupid ad, you know?
Have you been,
this is dumb.
Have you been raiding lately instead of hosting?
Yeah.
Does anybody so Conbot just said hosting still gets ads. I wonder if hosting gets ads and raids does not.
I wonder.
Because I haven't tested this because I haven't hosted anybody in a super long time.
After we had our little conversation a few months ago, I've only raid now. And you see the error of my ways.
No, I'm glad, man. That's my favorite part about the podcast, man, is changing perspectives.
Well, I just hadn't thought about it like that. That's all. Like I wasn't, you know.
Oh shit, chat's saying that is correct. That is super interesting.
So if you host somebody that you aren't sub to, you see an ad.
Wow.
I think if you host anybody that
No.
your viewers aren't,
That they're
that
not
your viewers
sub to.
aren't sub
Right.
to, then
Huh.
they get an ad.
Wow.
But raids, you don't get shit.
Interesting.
It's just stupid. It's like I remember the old days of Twitch where we used to relish in the fact that they threw shit at the wall and see what sticks. But now it's like you're throwing the wrong shit at the
Right.
wall. You're throwing actual shit
Diarrhea
at the wall.
It's the cup
And the
of
wall's a
diarrhea.
fan. And you just keep throwing shit into the fan and splattering it all over our fucking perfectly well-off wall.
Will it ever get to the point where you guys are frustrated enough to subscribe to Twitch Turbo?
No. Even though it still says I'm subscribed to Twitch Turbo in my icon.
I might, because I don't know. I kind of see it like this. Like, I have all my Twitch revenue from streaming that goes into my PayPal. And if it gets bad enough for me, but see, that's an easy decision for me, because for me, it's like I don't even see the money. You know what I mean? In a way, it's just I would just look at it as another business expense, so to speak.
Right. Write it off.
So do I want to do it? No, but I could see myself where it could get bad enough to where I end up just maybe that's what Twitch is counting on.
Yep.
You know?
I think it is. Because, I mean, that's why I originally had Twitch Turbo, was from when I was streaming all the time.
But that was before Twitch. That was before Twitch Prime.
Well, that and before affiliate program.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't save your fucking VODs unless you were paying for Twitch Turbo. But that was also like $5 a month, $8 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's gone up.
What is it now? It's like $12 a month or some shit.
No, it's $8.99. So I think it was $7 before.
Okay, but even still, like, I look at that, I would much rather. I think on average, I usually spend, for the people that I sub to, I've got a Twitch Prime sub that I usually rotate who I give it to. And then there's usually, I've maintained 6 other streamers that I pay, I consistently sub to every month, right? So 7 total. That's, well, that's $30 right there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you got to be limited. You know what I mean? It's like, I would love to sub. I know so many streamers that are worthy of me giving a sub to every month, but I just don't have the money to freaking pay. Yeah. And I know I'm not the only one that feels the same way. So I get it. You know, I get it. And then you feel like, all right, Twitch Turbo, that's basically like, I don't have ads, or I could sub to 2 more streamers a month. You know, basically just about. And so it's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to pay? You want to pay Twitch so you don't get ads, or do you want to sub to 2 more channels?
Right.
Honestly, I'd almost rather just sub to 2 more channels and deal with the
Me
ads.
too.
And
Me too.
If they just announced Twitch Turbo after years of having ads, I would probably subscribe. But seeing as how an ad-free experience was once ours for a price, and then it was taken, and then just that was tacked on, because I don't think there's any other features of Turbo that aren't already baked into Prime. It's just the ad-free viewing. So it's like, man, it's like you go to the fucking racetrack and you get a hot dog and a soda and fries for $5. And then you go back one week and it's like, you know what? Soda's separate now. And it's another $5. It's like, man, I've been getting this package deal. And it's not like they need the money, right? It's not like, oh, we got to, there's not as many people come to see NASCAR live, so we really got to pump up these numbers. It's like, bro, the amount of people, the amount of revenue that you got just for having a Fortnite skin tied to Twitch Prime. Like, when you have 250,000 people that had Twitch Prime just for Ninja, you think about all of the additional people that had, I think there was 100 million people are subscribed to Amazon Prime as of 2018 or something. 100 million. And that has probably only gone up since Twitch Prime. So
right. Assuming like a 20% bot account.
Right.
Over under.
Yeah.
Because there were plenty of people out there that were just fucking 16 emails on fucking Hotmail, 30 free trials, and shitloads of subs.
Yep. I'm losing my stamina is draining. My my defend against ad stamina is draining fast, and I honestly, I've held out for as long as I can. I will most likely subscribe to Twitch Turbo in the next couple months, depending on what happens. I really want to see what happens with this Twitch staff having access to streamers' ad panels and being able to run ads for them without their consent. And I want to see what happens with, you know, the slipstream ads finally kind of coming up as well. So
Yeah, that's gonna fuck everybody over.
yeah, it really, it's not going to be fun. And yeah, it's like, it's even, here's a stupid thing. I'll be on Twitter and I'll click on a Twitch link and it will load the stream embedded within Twitter. No ads. If I want to chat, I have to hit the open in app button and then I'm hit with an ad almost immediately. And it's every fucking stream. Like sometimes I go to streams on my PC and I just don't get an ad. With mobile, you can't even fucking view their profile without seeing an ad. If they are live and you click on their profile, it auto forwards you to the live stream and you have to watch an ad before you can see their panels, before you can see the rest of their username. It's ridiculous.
Nope. Can you, like, I don't think they understand that they've basically just murdered all of discovering new streamers.
Yep. Don't worry, put them on the front page.
Have no fucking intention. I don't even have a link saved in my computer for Twitch's homepage.
I'm going to say this, and I don't like this, but I think this is true for whatever reason. And this is anecdotal. You can take it with a grain of salt. But this is just from me watching my son. So my son watches a lot of YouTube, and when an ad comes on, it's almost like he doesn't care. He's doing something else, or he'll like focus his attention. I think this shit pisses us off. I don't think it pisses off the younger market. They just are like, I'm gonna let this ad play, and then I'm gonna, you know what I mean?
Well, and it's definitely like Naaackers was saying too. It's because we've seen both sides of that coin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't remember a time that YouTube didn't play ads.
If it had always been like this, I think that maybe we wouldn't be having the same reaction.
See,
perhaps.
But that's different because how many YouTube videos, when you join a YouTube video and you have a 15-second ad, how many of those YouTube videos can you not see what happened within the content those first 15 seconds?
Right. It's not, you're not missing shit.
Right.
But they also run ads on their live streams too.
I don't think I've ever watched. I think the only live stream I watch on YouTube is the fucking balls dropping ball. Excuse me.
I never watch gaming live streams, but I've watched plenty of like the YouTubers I watch live stream.
And I'm honestly, when I see ads on YouTube, I'm like, nah, it's part of it. Because I know that when the ad is done, the content is going to start exactly where it should.
Right.
So, but I totally see what you're saying, to where it's just like, oh, it's just like an ad. Whereas me now being probably somebody who's grown up in having control over ads, where our parents didn't have control whether they wanted to see ads or not. It was, no, you got 6 minutes of ads in between Maury and Jerry Springer, right? They didn't have a fucking choice. Us growing up, we've had ad blockers ever since. iOS devices ever since. Like Safari has been amazing at blocking out content and auto playing videos and all that bullshit. I can't speak to Android phones because I haven't owned one in a super long time, but I'm sure their browsers are conditioned to not be as terrible as desktop computers are, with banner ads and auto playing videos and pop-ups and stuff. It's ridiculous. So I feel like, yeah, you're probably right, where they probably aren't as affected by it.
I just don't think it bothers him. Like, it doesn't bother him. Like, he just focuses on something else or whatever, lets the ad play, and then he just goes back to what he's watching. And so I think, I don't know. we're the angry older people, but their target we are also not their target demographic.
No, we are not. Not anymore.
We are not. And so I feel like they just don't mind if they piss us off as much because they're getting a younger audience. I don't know.
This is Twitch's version of Will Smith Blue Genie.
Maybe. It could be. Like I said, this is totally anecdotal with this, but I really believe that they don't really give a fuck what we think because,
Nope. It's Amazon. They don't give a fuck about Twitch.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Damn it.
I don't think I would be as up in arms if I was just a viewer. If I was just a viewer, I would say, you know what? Ads are part of viewing free content on the internet. That's just how it is. But when, like you were saying earlier, when it's a fucking Trump wall of a problem in between me and experiencing other people's streams, when it is actually causing conflict and preventing me from experience somebody else's show as they intended, that's when it gets me mad. When I want to go, like, on the off chance, I just want to go to the game directory and pick somebody random. If you want to click through 4 people, that's possibly 2 minutes of ads that you would have to watch just to see if you even like the person enough in order to raid them. And then, okay, how much time do I give a brand new person before I decide if I want to raid them or not? So there's 10 minutes if you want to cycle through 4 people to try and find somebody to raid. Half of your audience is gone by that point, by the 10-minute mark.
Yeah.
If you say, I'm leaving, and then 10 minutes later you raid somebody, you know it's going to be, and that, not only that, but raids are significantly lower. I would say that raids yield 60 to 65% of the people that are actually watching the show, whether that's
or less.
Yeah, or less. Yeah.
Yeah, for that reason.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It ain't going away. Like we said before.
Nope.
It ain't going away. They're gonna find a way to make their revenue. And I saw someone in chat had mentioned something about how, they haven't really gotten into the profitability of Twitch. And I would be willing to bet money. Again, this is just a guess, but I would be willing to bet money that it costs so much to run Twitch that they're trying to find whatever ways they can to recoup what they can. And ads is one of those ways. And it is what it is.
They're just doing what every other company does when they fuck everything up. They start off just perfect and hippie, fucking do what we want, when we want, where we want, and then eventually a corporation buys them out. And then marketers, as the prophet Gary Vee has said many times before, marketers fucking ruin everything. So, and I use both YouTube and Twitch. I used YouTube more than Twitch, for the most part. And I could give a fuck less about ads. Like, I would actually benefit. I would save hours of my life every week if I had YouTube Premium. And I don't give a flying fuck about paying for that.
Right.
And I probably watch 10 YouTube videos a day minimum. And I just don't. I don't see me buying Twitch Turbo ever.
Right. That's fair.
Especially as a viewer. As if I was still streaming, it might be a thing. But that's literally just to avoid that one thing, that one fucking time at the end of every stream where I'm going to get hit with a fucking ad if I click somebody's channel.
Right.
Yeah.
So, because I do follow not a shitload, but I follow a decent amount of people on Twitch. And a lot of times I'll just be lurking in chat.
That's 90% of me watching on Twitch is lurking. Even after a raid, I usually say hello, and then I'm usually getting ready for the next day, and I just have it on in the background, But, I don't know, man. It ain't going away. It's one of those things that we mentioned before. Twitch is changing and growing, but it is a business. They're trying to make money, And they don't care if they piss some people off if it means, hey, we're going to make millions more by doing this every year.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can't wait to see their revenue, their gross revenue for fucking 2019. It's going to be disgusting.
Yeah, I've said it a million times on this show and other shows in the past. They are cash grabbing.
Mm-hmm.
That's that simple.
Mixer's loving it.
Yeah, but they'll do the same thing.
Yeah, it's gonna hit the same
If
point
Mixer
over
were
there.
to blow up, if Mixer were to blow up the way Twitch has, which they won't, I don't see, unless Twitch does some really stupid shit.
If YouTube can't do it, Mixer isn't gonna do shit.
Nah.
Yep.
Mixer will always be a second tier live streaming platform compared to Twitch, unless Twitch does something just really fucking dumb.
Yep.
Yeah, like not send W-2s to anybody.
No. Yeah.
Until it's 2 weeks before tax day.
And not explain that half of your revenue isn't documented on those 1099s for no reason.
Yeah. So
I love this platform.
I wouldn't be surprised if, like Tom had said, I don't think they'd even report revenue.
No, not officially.
Like,
they
in
don't.
any official capacity.
No.
There's plenty of estimates can be done,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like it's just like any other business from tech boom type shit. It was a lot of angel investing up front, and then Amazon came and bought them.
Yep.
And Amazon's just kind of keeping them around so they look like the cool, young, hip place to buy shit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But they probably don't make shit off of it. It's just basically just feeding people into their marketing schemes
Right.
at this point.
All right, moving along to our final topic of the night, Epic Store and game exclusives. A developer, the developer of The Outer Worlds, officially announced that they were pulling their game from Steam and releasing it exclusively on Epic Launcher for the first year, and then releasing it on Steam after that. So we had this conversation on the podcast a couple weeks back just about the Epic Store in general and games being released on both Epic and Steam or just Epic only. And I obviously was on the side of competition is great. It's good that developers are getting paid more when they release their game. So basically what happened is all of these game developers, like the people who made Metro Exodus and Outer Worlds, The Division, they planned to have their game come out on Steam. So much so that pre-orders had been open for a while and pre-orders were completed by end users. And then at somewhat the last minute, those game developers pulled the plug and released their game only on Epic. And for those of you wondering why, it's because Epic only takes 10% of game revenue, where Steam takes 30. So to any logical person, it would seem, okay, well, developers are getting paid more for releasing it on this other platform. The problem is that the game launcher itself is not up to snuff, and it isn't where it should be. With all of that in mind, what are your guys' thoughts with all these companies starting to follow suit, pulling their game from Steam and releasing it? I thought it was crazy that Division 2 was coming out on Steam, seeing as how it was an Ubisoft exclusive, at least for a time. And when I heard that they were leaving Steam and then going over to Epic, and then the same happened with Metro Exodus and now Outer Worlds, it's like, okay. So how are you guys feeling about this so far?
Somebody sat in a room with a guy like your tax guy who's a whiz with a fucking calculator and figured out, okay, these are the numbers we're expecting to get selling this game. What would be the difference with the market permeation on this platform opposed to this platform? And they figured out that if they were to do it, at least guesstimate wise, they're going to make more money by doing on the other, so they're releasing it on the other.
Yeah, shitloads more money too, by the way.
They have accountants that if it was close, they wouldn't have fucked with it. But like Salty just said, they figured out we're going to make way more money by releasing it. They wouldn't have made the decision. That's not how businesses work. They did the legwork to figure out, if we do this and it's a 20% less cut for Steam, even though the market is smaller, less people have the Epic Game Store, they figured out there's enough already where they can put it out and make more money. So that's what I think happened.
You could lose almost 20% of your user base and make the same amount of money. And it's a free launcher. It's a fucking no-brainer from the dev side. I don't necessarily like it because they need to stop using the term exclusive. You're not exclusive shit. You're just cash grabbing for the first year, and then you're going to be on all the fucking platforms anyway. So,
yeah.
I mean, from somebody that barely ever buys new games anymore, I think I still have Epic Launcher installed. I don't know. I still only really use Steam and fucking Uplay every so often.
Funny story about the Epic Launcher. I downloaded it today because I just know that there's games that are going to be coming out that I'm going to need it. So I was like, all right, let's get ahead of the curve. Let's download it. Downloaded it, installed it, and the first window that pops up looked like, in passing, where do you want your game library to be stored? And it showed, okay, this drive, Epic Games. And then under it, in smaller text, it showed C drive, Epic Games /Fortnite. I installed the launcher, and the first window that popped up was as if I had just bought the game, and it was asking me where I wanted to install Fortnite without showing me anything else. So me thinking, yes, I want that to be in my game directory. I just clicked OK, moved on. And then I'm seeing Fortnite starting to be downloaded. I'm like, why the fuck is Fortnite downloading? Apparently, that's the first thing that happens on an Epic Launcher. Now, we just downloaded the Epic Launcher about a week or two ago, and she said that didn't happen. So I don't know if this is a new thing, but I'm like, damn.
And maybe a new thing, because I have it. I've got the Epic Launcher on my computer, and that didn't happen to me. But I've had it on here for like the last 2 months. So,
okay.
That didn't happen to me.
I thought that was interesting. There's a chance that I had a random click, but like, how many clicks does it take to install Fortnite?
To get to the center of it,
to install that game from the main menu. It's not one. I didn't misclick 4 times and accidentally install Fortnite. So
no, they did that on purpose. That would be the equivalent of like you download Steam and it installs Orange Box.
Just right off the bat, right?
Yeah, it just puts it behind a paywall. But it's there just in case you need it.
Yeah.
I read a statistic that I tried to find really quick and I couldn't, that the Epic Launcher has 85 million registered users, and Steam currently has 90 million active users. So there's obviously two different stats that are being compared. But if you think about it, the Epic Launcher has only been around for a year, maybe even less, and they are catching up very, very quick. And from a survey that Epic pulled, only 40% of people who have the Epic Launcher have Steam installed as well, or use Steam, which is an interesting statistic as well.
I mean, initially it kind of makes sense because the Epic Launcher was brought out when they didn't have shit except for Fortnite.
Right.
So
right.
Basically just all Fortnite people that probably came off of fucking, they had Epic accounts because of consoles. But
so, like both Ember and Weenie are saying in chat right now, the amount of features in the Epic Store compared to Steam, very, very lackluster. Steam or Epic is still lacking simple things like an FPS counter or a screenshot ability. I'm actually very interested to click this link. Ember, don't show me porn. Okay. So the things that Epic,
I was kind of hoping it was.
the things that Epic has, or that Epic does not have: cloud saves, user profiles, user reviews, forums, mod distribution, groups, item trading, library sorting, account sharing, streaming other devices, broadcasting, screenshot capture, user created guides, wish lists, and I don't think they have a refund policy yet. Can anybody confirm or deny?
It only took like 20 years for Steam to get a refund policy.
Right.
So
So that's
Let's Whoa
another thing to consider.
there.
Is Epic is
You know what?
brand new.
I'm gonna devil's advocate you here, and I'm not even a big fan of fucking Epic. But here's my response. Of all those things that are on there, yes, they're nice, yes. But do you really fucking need all that shit to play your game and have?
I need the mod distribution for
No.
sure.
Cloud
Well,
saves.
I mean, I
Here's,
guess it's great. Oh, I need a cloud save because I got to go somewhere else to play this game. But I'm just saying, do you absolutely 100% need them?
yes. Not for the fact of going somewhere else to play the game, but for the sake of my game hard drive died and you officially have lost all of your saves.
I see what you're saying, dude. I get it. But how often do you have hard drive failure? It's not an everyday thing. I'm playing devil's advocate.
Right.
I know those things are good for them to have. But I'm telling you, you are someone that is way beyond the average. You're a what do you call it?
Power user.
Salty's. Yes, you're a power user. Salty's a power user. Tweenie, Ember, most of the people that are listening to this podcast are probably in what I would probably consider to be in that category. But that we are not the majority of the population. They're marketing this to the average user.
To them,
they don't give a fuck.
I will say that to an extent, but cloud saves, reviews of games, forums, broadcasting
don't need all
don't
those
care.
things to play a game.
I don't really care about forums either.
So, okay, but here's the thing. That's like a car coming out nowadays without any of the extra features that everybody has already gotten used to.
I get what you're saying. I like those things too. I want those things too. But when it comes down to the brass tacks and you're just playing the fucking game, you don't need them. And that's the bottom line. They can get this shit out the door and get people to buy in and get their game and play it. And yes, do the power users bitch and moan for good reason that they don't have it? Yes. But we are not the majority of the market. They're looking at who's the real big part of the market. We can have this 10% that's going to be pissed. But we also have this 90% that don't give a fuck. And we're selling to mainly the 90%. That's what I think.
And that's totally fair. That's totally fair. I think that you are correct for a majority of these features, but I think there's base things that, hard drives dying doesn't happen often, but with having a Windows-based operating system, there's plenty of other things that happen that saves just get corrupted. There's nothing worse than losing
And there's
saves.
plenty of cloud systems that suck balls too.
Right, 100%. Yeah. So,
but I mean, definitely be better to have it saved somewhere else.
Right. With that said, I'm still on the side of games can come out on Epic all day. There's features that suck that they're not around, but I'm not gonna go, no, I'm not gonna play a game because it's coming out on Epic. I'm not that stingy whatsoever. Does it suck for now? Yeah, but just like every battle royale that's come out since PUBG or since H1Z1, they're all gonna suck in the beginning because they're all working at their own pace. These things are going to come eventually. They don't have any need for cloud saves when it comes to Fortnite because everything is fucking server based anyways. There isn't anything that's saved locally in your machine where this would matter. But yeah, Jesus Christ, Cat! Fucking
By
hell!
the way, I'm not defending Epic by any stretch of the imagination.
Stand your ground, Jimmy!
No, I'm not defending them. I'm just saying, and I don't really use them. I have it downloaded. All the computer games I play are off Steam. I haven't bought a single game off of Epic. All I'm saying is we are not the target market. That's all I'm saying. We're not. We are in the minority of being in like the power user market that has the nice equipment and a nice PC and is very knowledgeable about different types of features. That's not their target market. And there's a lot more of people who are not like us than there are like us.
That's fair.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's fair.
all I'm saying. You know.
So circling back to games being pulled from Steam and only release on Epic, not thinking about all of these features that are lacking or any of that shit. Does it bother you that the game developers are going after the money, or are you in the headspace of, well, these guys have been taking it in the ass for the past 20 years, and I don't really care if they want to make an extra buck for once? How do you guys feel about that?
I think if you take the time and have the ability to make a game, you should do whatever you think is best for you to make the most money that you can make off all the hard time and effort that you've put into it. Whatever platform you want to release that on should totally be up to the developer. I have no problem whatsoever with that. Would I prefer them to put it on Steam because that's the one that I'm invested in? Absolutely. But if it makes more financial sense for them to put it on another one, and they know they can make more money doing it, I can't be upset with them, because it really comes down to it's a business decision. And being a family man myself and having a wife and kids, like if I was a game developer, and you know how fickle the fucking game market is, man.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like if we're talking about, this is the difference between what I need to do to pay my mortgage and take care of my family and doing all this sort of shit. Like I mean, I can't fault them for that. I mean, especially because if we're talking, especially now some of the big game companies, that's different. Maybe a little bit, maybe they're just trying to get the most, but especially for the indie guys, if you're an indie developer and you're not releasing on Epic Store, I mean, shit, man, why wouldn't you?
Right.
Why wouldn't you? So I don't know. That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing the only thing that would drive me to go to Steam as an indie developer would be if you are doing a true working through of an alpha. Like, you don't have greenlight projects or alphas or any of that shit on, because you don't have mod support and you don't have workshops and forums, and you don't have that with Epic, then you have no way to like totally centralize a community around a game.
Right.
And I know there aren't a lot of games that go through alpha, beta testing successfully and come out the other side with a true finished product. But there are plenty of games that seriously benefit from having the community and all the features that Steam's built. Now, that being said, it wouldn't take a lot to do that with Epic at all. It wouldn't take a lot to do all that shit again.
Okay.
So
yeah, I think when it comes to me, again, I used to get bothered by having to have a bunch of different launchers, but at the end of the day, it's not the worst thing in the world. I can get by it. Having to try and remember what key is what screenshot, or how do I enable the overlay, that can get a little frustrating at times. And it's like, oh, this one doesn't have, the FPS counter, or this one, I don't have you added as a friend on this platform. That's all stuff that I can get by. It doesn't really bother me. I really don't mind if they want to chase the dollar, because again, it's like them going their entire lives with somebody taking a 30% cut just to house your game on their market, and then another market that is just as fruitful coming by and saying, hey, we'll do the same thing and we'll give you 22% of your cut back. It's like, oh, and I don't have to do anything differently, and I can just make more money now for no reason whatsoever other than there's just somebody else. And I'm all about that. It doesn't bug me too much.
Nope.
Well, that's because you guys are reasonable and you understand. I get the anger about some of this stuff, but when it really comes down to it, I mean, shit changes all the time, man. I mean, nothing's always ever going to be the same, and you just kind of gotta roll with the changes, man. So there was an REO Speedwagon song about that shit. All right, you got to roll with the changes.
Look, REO Speedwagon don't know shit about no cloud saves, man. Times have changed.
They don't know shit about no cloud saves.
What about user profiles and shit, man? Oh god. All right. Any final comments on any of those topics?
I agree with Ember in chat that I hope that this fucking wakes Steam up.
Same.
I mean, whatever, we covered the little news story on them putting a new face on their shit. I don't need a user interface, motherfuckers. I just need quality, consistency, and that's it.
Okay. All right, moving along to the question and answer. Yeah, I thought our bot had pooped and just didn't collect any questions, but I think this is actually the first podcast in ever since we started collecting questions.
We were going hot and heavy,
we were
man.
getting hot and sweaty, baby.
Chat's broken.
We do have 2 questions. One is from MiddleAgedStream, you cheating scum. When is Naaackers going to play Sekiro or a Soulsborne game, and when can I take off my pants when he does? I haven't seen any gameplay of that game yet. I don't know what it's about. Let me get through Bloodborne and Dark Souls first, and then I'll make a decision on this new
You're going to
game.
play Bloodborne and Dark Souls?
They're both tip incentives for that goal that I have going right now. So if we reach the goal,
yeah, dude. Oh, I can't wait. I'll have the drops. I'll splash the pot. I've already thrown some money in there. I'll splash some more.
All right.
I didn't realize that was an incentive.
Yeah, and it's actually, I think we're very close to the Bloodborne incentive.
Oh, yeah.
Like very close.
All right, bitch. I got 69 cents with your name on it, bitch.
All right, baby. Throw your change at
Yeah.
me. I'm your little whore. Next question. Actually, it's not really a question. It's just grounds for me to break up with Matt Weenie. Naaackers, will you marry me? Start packing. See you later. Love you, though. Bye. And then we have one question from Twitter from Vans. Who's getting Halo Master Chief Collection, and who's playing Reach with me when it comes out? Also, what game mode are you most looking forward to playing? SWAT, big team battle, custom maps, firefight, etc., etc.
I already own Halo Master Chief Collection on Xbox, so I think I'll get it when it comes out because it's a Play Anywhere title. So I will already be there with you playing it. I'm gonna have to play it, even though I know there's PC players. I don't care. I'll be playing on a controller, even against mouse keyboard players. I don't give a fuck. I'm just used to playing on a controller. So, I'm looking forward most to Big Team Battle. I've had more fun playing Big Team Battle than any other game mode, but I've had fun playing a lot of the other game modes too. And definitely gonna play Reach. I had more fun. Reach was one of the. I'm excited. I'm excited that Halo is coming to PC because it's gonna really open up Halo to everything else.
I'm
to
not
a lot of other
excited
people.
for how long it's going to take for all the other titles to make it to PC, though.
That's the shitty part because they're only releasing like one a month or.
I don't even know if it's that.
Yeah, it might
right
take a
now
while.
they're going back and redoing it again from what the
Mhm.
Master Chief Collection was prior to adding Reach to it. So
You know what,
to
though?
PC, they're going to get Reach first, and then one at a time they're going to release the other ones.
If they're
I
starting with
want-
Reach, that's plenty of time though, because you're gonna. I mean, that was one of the best ones, man. If they're starting with Reach, that's awesome.
I don't think it was one of the best ones.
I read.
Dude, it's so much fun on multiplayer.
I
had
love
so much
Reach.
fun.
I love the campaign, but if I could just have all the people in the world that play Halo just play Halo 2 SWAT on map rotation, that's going to be me all fucking day, every day. It's just Halo 2 SWAT all day.
I played. Oh, sorry.
I read 2 articles today that said Halo was not going to be Play Anywhere.
Really?
Yeah. Rumored.
But they did say that if you already owned the Master Chief Collection that you would get this
Right, but I don't think it's
all the shit on PC.
Yeah, and it's still going to be available in the Windows Store and in Steam, but I don't think it's Play Anywhere enabled.
So I'll own it, but I can only play it on PC or on Xbox.
I think so, but they will be cross-platform. Maybe?
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
I know. Well, this is Microsoft we're talking about, who didn't realize that
true.
PC players wanted Halo until 2019.
Well, until somebody else was making money off it.
Which did you see that Microsoft actually gave El Dorito props for giving them the kick in the ass to come out with a PC version?
No.
There's actually an
I
official
just think
statement.
that was them covering their own ass because it pissed so many people off that they fucking came down on these motherfuckers that were just literally trying to get a game that had been canceled in Russia modded and put out there so people could fucking play their game.
Right.
So you can say it was kind of cool, blah, blah, blah. That was them. Yeah, we were douches. Let's throw this guy some fucking fame in a fucking shitty memo that we sent out to our employees like it fucking matters. Yeah, like fuck Microsoft. They don't care.
Yeah.
All right, we got a couple more questions. Okay. Well, now is the cutoff, chat. So you had your fucking chance. You had 2.5 hours and you were all asleep. So sucking ass.
No, don't get mad at chat. They were engrossed by our conversation and forgot to add questions.
Who the fuck are we? Get your asses in line, all right? Next question from Conbot. Naaackers, you mentioned that you don't want to bandwagon on the GTA roleplay. Why do you think the idea of bandwagon is so gross? Like, if something blows up and you like it, why not go for it? I've never been about following trends, especially on Twitch. I was wearing skinny fucking emo jeans in 6th grade while everyone else was wearing double polos and motherfucking Birkenstocks. So I would rather play the game on my own time rather than be like, oh, hey, everybody likes it now. Now I'll play it, because my entire streaming career, I have only ever played what I want to play. And the thing is when people get sick of watching RP, just because if I jump on that bandwagon and the hype is there and everybody comes in and hangs out, what happens when that hype dies and everybody gets sick of watching GTA RP, which is going to come very, very soon? I'm just going to end up in the same spot. And I really do want to play GTA 5. So me playing it would be genuine. And while I don't really care what anybody thinks, it wouldn't seem genuine. And I would rather play games when I think it's the right time. And me stopping playing sub-select games just to play GTA RP wouldn't be genuine to myself. That would me being, okay, yeah, I've wanted to play this game, but now I'm only going to play it because it's got so much hype. So I'm sure that in some way I could probably convince myself that it really doesn't matter and that I could play it just because I want to play it. But I've got 8 months of sub-select games that I got to catch up on. So me taking any time away from playing those games makes me feel guilty. So that's really the root of it. If I was not obligated with sub-select games right now, I would probably be playing it. So I would say that's probably most of it.
I will tell you, just FYI to all those out there who have been thinking about trying it that haven't tried it. The last wave, I downloaded all the shit and got everything in. 5M servers will give you more than plenty of reasons to fuck off that game.
Yes.
The reason why everybody thinks that GTA 5 RP is so great is because they're all on private whitelisted servers that you will never fucking be on.
Mm-hmm.
So every other server is basically just like every other multiplayer in GTA. It's just a shitload of hackers and assholes and people shouting obscenities and racial slurs nonstop.
Yep.
So it is the worst day in Kavala in Altus life.
And that's another thing too, is being a staff member of a community that managed an RP server. RP servers are the most toxic type of multiplayer gaming that you can play and manage. It will make you hate playing video games, as every staff member of GSN did. That's why none of the staff fucking played that game after a certain amount of time, because it turns friends into enemies. People get beyond. You would think that you are actually stealing money from somebody else in real life when you rob them in game. That's how personally some people take it. So RP scares me as well.
It also didn't help that we played from the beginning, so we had all the money.
This is true.
The fuck we wanted.
Yeah. So it probably totally seems like, I just hate mainstream shit, but I just don't want to be one of those people that just jumps on a game because it's super hot at the time. I want to jump on a game because I want to jump on the game. I've never been about chasing the viewers or the clout or any of that shit, except when I tried to play Fallout 3 when I thought it would give me viewers, and I learned years and years and years ago that was stupid. And just because there's a lot of people watching it doesn't mean that people are going to watch me.
Yep.
Cool.
Next question, Ember Strife. What are your opinions, if any, on the Twitch Sings competition? They recently announced the semifinalists and had them battle it out to sing in the finals at Twitch. I hate anybody that can sing well because I can't.
Yeah,
I'm the exact opposite.
I can't sing.
I
don't hate them, but
I don't care for karaoke. I don't care for Twitch Sings. I'm sure there's plenty of people who absolutely love it. I don't care to watch it whatsoever.
Yeah. I love singing competitions because I suck at singing. I always played instruments in school.
Twitch Sings hip hop and rap. Sign me the fuck up. I'll rap all day, but I can't sing. So
I haven't watched any of the actual competition though, but I do know a lot of the people that are in it, including one of the guys I watch all the time, Mike the Bard on Twitch. He was in it, and he's really good.
I knew one person that I watched somewhat regularly that put an entry in but didn't make the semifinals, and she can sing really well. And I was like, she didn't make it, so I was like, I don't give a shit. I got anyone to watch.
I don't care anymore.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's cool that they're getting towards content that is somewhat repeatable.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's a good concept for like a show, an actual show, a repeatable show.
Right.
So,
yeah, just like when Twitch branches out into any other category like IRL or cooking or craft and shit. If there's a new category that people can be successful in, fuck yeah, all day. It's just not my thing, really.
Yeah, me either.
Last question from Satan's PR Girl: is Halo really that good?
Yes.
I would say I will preface this with saying it's good for me. This was the first fucking game that I ever played multiplayer. Period. As far as online gaming, this was the first ever game. When Halo 2 came out, when Halo 1 came out, I was the fucking guy who was toting around literally a suitcase full of LAN cables and hubs, and we'd meet at somebody's house. It'd be 4 fucking Xboxes hooked up, 16 people, like pizza, no drugs or alcohol because we were 12, and we would just stay up all fucking night playing the same map, same people all fucking night, and it was awesome. So Halo has a special place in my heart.
Halo is a game that I'm not even a big fan of shooters, and I like Halo. It has a special place in my heart because when Halo 2 came out, I was deployed, and that game helped get me through my deployment because we used to play when we had downtime, and me and a bunch of other soldiers in Iraq, we used to play Halo multiplayer all the time, and it was a way for us to escape all the fucking craziness that was going on in Iraq. And so for me personally, I have that, and it's also a good game. That's not the only reason what makes it good, but I always have had a positive thought about Halo because it helped me through some of the toughest times in my life, and it's a fantastic game and a lot of fun to play multiplayer.
For somebody who doesn't know what Halo is, could you confidently give them a copy of Halo 5 and say, hey, this is one of the greatest franchises that ever lived? Could you say that confidently?
I own Halo 5 and haven't played it.
So I think that the Halo franchise is one of the greatest. Halo 1, 2, and 3. I didn't play any campaign of 2. I played a little multiplayer of 2, but Halo 1 and 3 were the most. And growing up with Halo, yes. But just like how I didn't take too well to Final Fantasy, 10, where it's like this monumental game in a series of great titles, I was like, I don't fucking get this at all. So if you've never played Halo before, I probably couldn't give you a Halo game and say, this is amazing. But the series as a whole, growing up with it, yes, the Halo series is a fantastic, fantastic franchise.
Yeah. Just, I don't know what it was. Halo 2 was the gameplay was super arcadey, simplistic as fuck. It was almost auto aim.
No ults, no sprinting.
No fucking crazy giant axes and shit.
No 3-story buildings being built when you shoot at somebody.
It was just pure.
Yep.
That was cannot fucking wait. And they better not go in reverse order because I will be super pissed.
I'm pretty pumped about it.
I'm pumped for just being able to play co-op campaigns with people.
Same. Very much same.
I could totally see myself just getting shit-faced drunk and playing through like a marathon through 1 and 2.
Yep.
Easy.
Yep. Alrighty, that is it for our question and answer, and unfortunately, that is our goodbye. So, what we're going to do is go around the room one final time, reintroduce you guys to the guests, and then we'll close this bitch down. So, SaltySam, starting with you.
My name is SaltySam. You can find me on Twitch at SaltySam, Twitter at TheSaltySam, and Instagram, Salty All Day. And I am off this week. But I don't plan on doing shit until this shed is done and wired and trenched and everything is finished. So you will see me on Instagram.
My name is Jimmy, aka MiddleAgedStream. You can find me on Twitch and Instagram at MiddleAgedStream, MiddleAgedStream, no D on Twitter. Pulling your teats at farmersonly.com. I will be streaming this week, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. I will probably be playing some Red Dead 2 and Sekiro, the new Souls type game with the samurai. It's fucking sweet, and I can't wait. So, yeah.
Awesome. My name is Naaackers. You guys can find me on this very channel 4 times a week, or you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Naaackers with 3 A's. Over the next 2 weeks, this upcoming week is going to be Detroit Become Human. And then the week after that, if the parts come in, we have 12 macro boards to build for the community. So that's probably going to be a hefty amount of streams. Once we've officially done all of the giveaways for the macro boards that were for the chair tip incentive event. So all of those winners have been picked. And then all the people who have requested macro boards. So we got a shit ton of them to build. And we're going to be getting to that very, very soon. Thank you. I thought I heard somebody was going to say something.
Looks like Leroy gained some weight. He's got some chub to him.
He's getting old and fat.
He looks like my cat.
Are you fat? You fat ass.
Yeah. He's eating Boba's food.
You know, he actually doesn't care for Boba's food too much, but his bowl is down and accessible at all times. It's winter weight. Leave him alone.
Hey, he's still handsome.
My cat is twice his size.
Thank you.
He's got a dad bod.
He does. Yeah, he's a little chub rub. Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
You little fuck ass.
You got a little dad bod.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the podcast. We will see you in 2 weeks for episode 91 and another free for all, joined by these 2 fantastic and handsome gentlemen. Appreciate you guys all coming by. If you want to stick around for a raid, we will be raiding another channel. But until then, you guys all have a fantastic night. Thank you for hanging out, and we will see you soon. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
See you later.